Hello everyone, and welcome to a very nice game from the 11th Lichess titled Arena. Now, as you all know, Magnus Carlsen already won 8 out of the first 10 arenas that were played. The time format of this tournament is 1 minute each, so it's a bullet tournament. We're not going to be analyzing the games, we're just going to show them, and if there's an interesting puzzle or two, we're going to stop there for a few moments. Out of the first 10 tournaments, Carlsen won 8 of them. One he didn't play, and one I believe he had a bad internet connection, and then he just dropped out in the middle of the tournament. I believe it was that one where he was playing from a van or something. But regardless, in this game, I chose this one. I went through some 50 of them, and I decided this one would fit our needs the best. He's playing against Rebecca Harris, Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky, United States Grandmaster, and it's really a nice game. Hope you enjoy it. Let's dive straight into it. And like I mentioned in the previous video, if you haven't, do check out the animated movie that we already mentioned, where Anna and myself analyzed the game between AlphaZero and Stockfish. The link will be the first thing you will see in the description below. So check that out as well. Now let's go to the game. Carlsen opens with e4, and we have g6. We have d4, bishop to g7. I don't think this system has a name. It's sort of a modern defense with the g6. We have knight to c3, and now d6. We have bishop to e3, increasing the defense of this d4 pawn here, and also perhaps an idea will be queen to d2 to h6 to exchange the dark square bishops in the future, much like you would do in a Pierce defense or perhaps in a Dragon Sicilian. Knight to f6. Okay, we have h3, taking away the g4 square from black's bishop and knight. Knight to c6, and now comes knight to f3. We have e5, offering a trade in the center, but also offering a trade of queens, which Carlsen accepts. We have d captures, and now queen captures on d8. King captures on d8, and now castling with tempo. We have castles, now rook delivers check, and you either have to block it or the king has to move. Bishop d7 blocking check while developing a piece, and now comes bishop to c4. And already you can see that black did not profit all that much by exchanging this early in the center. He has some problems here defending the f7 pawn. The problem is if you play something like rook f8 defending it, then bishop to c5 pushes it back and you win the f7 pawn. Or you can block with knight e7, but then you give up the e5 pawn. So here, king to e8, unpinning and also keeping an eye on the f7 pawn. Carlsen goes knight to g5 with a double attack against the f7 pawn, and now rook to f8, bringing more defense here. But now bishop to c5, again kicking this rook back. We have bishop to h6 now, offering a rook for a bishop and a knight here. And of course Carlsen isn't interested in that. First he defends the knight. We have h4, and now knight to e7, blocking the bishop's attack towards the rook. King b1, Carlsen unpins here, and now comes bishop to c6, attacks the e4 pawn, and Carlsen defends it. We have f3. We have a6, and now comes bishop to b3, not allowing b5 to come with an attack on the bishop. And now it's hard for black to do anything, pretty much. It's hard. You definitely would want to play something like rook d8, at least trade off some of the pieces, but it's not possible because of bishop captures on f7. Rook captures, and now rook captures forces the king to capture on d8, and now you capture the rook with check and pick up the bishop. King e8, knight captures here, and white would be up a whole rook. So it's not easy for black to find a plan, especially since it's a bullet game. So knight to h5 was played, allowing Carlsen to capture on h7, but gaining some counterplay. So Carlsen captures, we have knight captures on h7, rook to h8, and now knight back to g5. Rook back to f8, defending the f7 pawn. Black, of course, will not mind a repetition of moves here, but Carlsen is not interested in that. We have g4, removing the knight from h5, from where it defends f6. We have knight to f4, and now comes knight to h7. Again attacking the rook, rook to h8, but now as the knight from h5 no longer guards f6, knight can come to f6 with check. We have king to f8, and now comes g5. Bishop to g7, and now comes knight c to d5. And here it's again a very uncomfortable position for black. You don't really have all that many options. You can't even trade anything. You can never capture on f6 because this would simply attack the pinned piece, that is the knight on e7. So here bishop captures on d5 was played, bishop captures on d5, and now c6. Forcing the bishop back, we have bishop to b3, and now black really, again, hard to make a move. Like we said, if you capture, pawn captures, you are losing the knight here, so you cannot do anything that way. If you try something like knight e6 to attack the bishop, then simply bishop captures, pawn captures, and then rook to d7. Again, attacks the pinned piece. You cannot defend it via rook to e8 as the knight is controlling that. And again, in this position, if you capture, again, pawn captures will attack the pinned piece 3 times. So here, Naroditsky, after bishop to b3, tried b6. With the idea of bishop captures, and then at least the knight will no longer be pinned, but it doesn't work. Here, feel free to pause the video. White has a forced checkmate in 3. It's a very nice Sunday puzzle, so, you know, give yourself time and figure it out. I'll give you a couple of seconds as usual. For those of you who were able to do it, congratulations, it's a wonderful checkmate in 3, and for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, the idea is bishop captures on e7. Again, it's not much of a puzzle, as it starts with check, but it's what we got. It was in this position that Naroditsky resigned the game, because now after king captures on e7, you get rook to d7 check. Only move is king to f8, and then follows as the bishop still attacks the f7 pawn, rook captures on f7, and this is now checkmate, as the knight doesn't allow the king to escape anywhere. So yeah, that's the game. I do hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, do check out the video with the link in the description below. Really awesome animation and a lot of work put into it. And also here are the results of this tournament. As you can see, Magnus Carlsen won first place with a rating performance of 3075 and only with 54 games played. Unlike Andrew Tang, Penguin GM, Penguin what? I always thought it was Penguin GM, but now I see it's Penguin GIM. Okay, but regardless, Andrew Tang in second place with a rating performance of 2930 with 62 games played, a 68% win rate, and in third place, Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky. Here, this game played against Magnus Carlsen as GM Rebecca Harris with a rating performance of 2853 with 64 games played, and a winning rate of 63%, and also a 6% berserk rate. So there you have it. I do hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully everyone found it a very nice checkmate in 3. I would like to thank Maxime Platt, Joe Moore, Gleb Kopchenkov, Alfred Robinson, and Lauren Benedict for their contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, hopefully with some more interesting content, continuing the Capablanca saga, and also checking up on your hashtag suggestions. Thank you all, and have an excellent rest of your Sunday.